We're here.
We're here. We are here.
We're the Controversy Podcast.
This is the World Controversy Podcast, the podcast that give you all forms of controversy.
64.
Yo, bro, you should have stayed in sync.
64. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. I'm coming back from Malcolm X Day. I had to run here. I almost caught a plane to get here, but I knew this was going to be a good episode. We got some good brothers on. Julian, Rob, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Where our guests like to introduce themselves.
Sure, yeah. My name is Micah Henry. I go to Eastern University. I'm trying to get a bachelor in business administration, and I write about fantasy sports. And yeah, that's pretty much me. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm just Joe Henry.
Joel Henry, as you guys may remember, Joel Henry was a guest of ours. I believe it was episode 22 was Is College a Scam? This is the part 2 episode of that.
Episode 22, yes.
Episode 22. This is episode 64. Of course, like always, my name is Germ Griffin. Your brother, Germ Griffin. You can follow me at Germ Twix and on Instagram, germ.griffin. Julian.
This is your boy, J-Rob. You can follow me at jwizzle_ on Instagram.
Yes. Hey, yo, I know it sounds all chaotic and stuff. I'm super excited because these mics are fresh. They're new, you know what I mean? I'm excited. We got the boys in the house. I grew up with these guys, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? I'm practically a Henry myself, you know. And, you know what I mean? I grew up with the Henrys. You know, we got a studio assistant, someone from Julian's church. Shout out to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to her.
Awesome. Let's get it in. Is college a scam?
Now, let me start it off this way, okay? Let me start it off fast. I would say it like this. Last episode, we talked about is college a scam? We talked about the institution, the history, and all that.
Yes.
Now, today I want to talk about individually, is college a scam?
Right.
Meaning, is college a scam for most individuals in what they're trying to pursue?
Okay.
And I would say that for right now, it still is.
Ooh.
And one of the reasons I would say that, Charlie Kirk brought this up. I'm not a big fan of him in other ways, but he brought this up. He said that almost 40 to 50% of people that sign up for college are dropouts by the end of graduation. So when you have people signing up for something and almost half of the people are dropping out, and then when the people are dropping out, you have them making 60, 65,000 versus a non-college graduate, it's around 38 to 45,000. I would say 4 years of your time, young years where you're able to be influenced a lot. You have a bunch of these young kids on college campus right now rioting and acting like certain words. They're not getting what they should be getting. So with all of that, and again, I think it's 23,000, which is the average debt that someone is coming out of college.
Yeah.
I would say 4 years of that is just not worth it.
Yeah. Okay. I hear what you're saying, Micah. Come on, man, help me out because you're the new one here. I already heard his theory, you know what I mean? And I can break his stuff down in the stats. You know what I mean? He ain't got nothing on the stats, but I want to hear your story, man. Is college a scam? What's going on?
Yeah, I think the answer is like really simple. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's like anything. It's what you make it.
Okay.
So if you're going to college and you decide to mess around, party, not take it seriously, then it could, be deemed as a scam. But if you go to college, ready to focus on getting your degree, there's nothing no scam about it because you're going to have more opportunity to get more jobs with your degree. So that can't be like a scam. I get it. Institutionally, like it could be like viewed as you don't need that. That shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't have to get a degree to get these certain type of jobs. That could be an argument, but the college in and of itself, I don't think it's a scam. Some colleges might be trying to take advantage of you, but in general, I don't think there's much scam about it unless you make it.
Well, that depends on what degree are we talking about. Because certain degrees, I'm sorry, if you're going to college to get a degree in dance, you're not gonna find a decent job in that field.
That's not even true. That ain't even true.
Then tell me what decent job in the field of dance.
I don't know, a dancer.
A dancer, but most dancers don't make big time money.
And let me say this though. Let me say this. Dang, I just forget the thought. If we look at, I forgot the thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, so let's finish off what I was saying. Most dancers don't make big time money. You already seen with Lizzo getting sued by her dancers because they ain't make big time money. Come on.
Yeah, but how many of them women had a degree in dance?
I'm pretty sure there probably was a few of them that got degrees in dance. Not all of them.
And these are the same people who probably found a job within a week after getting kicked out by Lizzo.
Probably.
I'm trying to help you out.
This was my thought.
Probably. But at the same time, they didn't make big bucks. One. Two. I mean, well, the Lizzo thing is more deeper than that, though. So...
Hold up, Rob, because you know I'm gonna come at you too. I had to go back and really listen to part one.
Come on, come at me.
You said something in part one, and you guys was on Zuckerberg. But anyway, I'm not.
Go ahead.
Go back
because I still stand on a lot of stuff I said in part one.
I forgot his name. I don't fool with the Ricks like that. But these guys knew exactly who he was. Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg. You want to talk about Bill Gates, Steve Jobs? Yeah, they made rich without college degree.
Okay,
but I got this.
But help me out. That's the one of the 1%.
Let me.
It always has been.
But how many?
A lot of them had generational wealth to invest in.
Okay.
Period.
Okay. But how many people make millions off your college degree?
I don't know.
That's not a good answer.
And it goes back to on average over a lifetime, someone with a degree. Someone with a bachelor's will make, on average, $1 million more than someone who has not graduated.
Now, let me say this, Jeremy.
That's not completely true. That is not completely true.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Now, Jeremy, you do have a good point with saying that on average, right? And then we also see the 1%. Now, this is the problem, and I'll say it this way, and I guess I'm fighting against my own idea, but let me say it like this.
Okay, help me out.
I think it's 74% of people who are millionaires have college something, right? Now, if we look at that, one of the things I will say college is good for, it sounds bad, but it's true. People who aren't that smart need to go to college. Because if they're left to the natural ways of society, not a lot will come up of their life. Because they don't have the mind to go get a trade. They're not that industrious maybe. They're not that smart to create their own business. So the reality is this, it sounds bad. There are people in this world who their whole life, they just need to be told what to do. Show up at this time, get paid a paycheck, go home. And that's just their life. Now, what I will say is this though. For the people who do live that life, the question, and I would say this is the main problem. We have been indoctrinated by our baby boomer parents who, as a heart of a parent, want better for us, though. So they say, go to college. That'll make a better life for you. But as we've now seen, there's many people who are having better lives without that. So I would say overall, we have to get to the place where we say, is this an institutionalized idea that we are just shoving down our kids' throats? Because it's what they're quote-unquote supposed to do? Or is this a personal choice which will benefit you and where you want to go in life?
It can be both.
It can be both.
It can.
It can be both.
Yes, it can. And I agree with a lot of stuff he's saying because if you're not smart enough, you're not going to make it. For sure. And everybody who goes to college are not smart. Everybody that gets a degree is not smart.
That's the truth.
There are some dumb people that get degree. Degree doesn't equal intelligence. Degree does not. Degree just equals how much harder you're willing to work to get that.
Yeah, which is something employers are looking for.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's backtrack.
Which is something employers are looking for.
But a lot of employees are taking off that college requirement, like Google, Apple, what's the other one? Netflix, yep. So what you think about that?
Do you know anybody who worked for any of these companies?
Personally, no.
I'm gonna be honest. It's because they brought this up last time, and I keep.
But let's be honest though, they're Silicon Valley companies.
Wait a minute. I listened to the first episode again, and I'm like, these guys are really cool and stuff, but let's take it back to like an individual, personal level. Who do you know who work at these companies with or without a degree?
Now, let's be honest, Jeremy, though. They're Silicon Valley companies. So how would we in Philadelphia know what's going on all the way over there in San Francisco?
First off, Google is headquartered in Pittsburgh.
Okay,
help me out.
Now help me out.
All right, brother.
You don't know no one from Google.
No, we don't know no one from Google personally.
The biggest employer is Walmart. You get a job down there with less than a high school diploma, and they ain't paying nothing. Now, you can lose that job, you can get that job, but I'm just saying the degree helps you keep a job, and it normalizes the rate of pay you get to be higher. On average, it will be higher. Micah, it's not a lie. Am I wrong? I mean,
I agree.
To a certain extent.
All right, let's back it up.
But
I'm just trying to understand. Let's back it up then.
Let's backtrack to the original question.
Okay.
Is college a scam? What is a scam? A scam implies that the college is intentionally trying to, create something that is, not for the advantage of students, but for their own advantage, for their own gain. Is that what the colleges are intentionally trying to do? I don't think so.
Well, if you go, I don't know if you watched the first episode. Actually, I would say overall, institutionally, that is the case. Individually, that's not the case. You have a lot of good professors out there, a lot of them, genuine good professors which care about their students and want to help their students grow in life. Right. But institutionally, no, college is corrupt to the core. And let me tell you how. If we go back to the first episode, you realize this, that when your college costs $30,000, back in around, I think it was 1980 or 1970, college was around $3,000. The reason it became more, because the government said, any college student who can't pay back his debt, we will subsidize it. So the colleges kept on banking and banking and banking. That's why we look at colleges as like Harvard, right? It's $60,000, $70,000. What people don't realize, their endowment, aka the money that they get from lenders and also from the government, is around $36.8 billion. They could pay for their students to go to college for the next 50 to 100 years. They don't need your money. What they do need, because a lot of their money, people don't realize, they get your money and then they invest it down on Wall Street because they're just all rich. They're just all rich at the top. But a lot of our young people, and this is, I think, the next point, a lot of our young people are being politically indoctrinated at our universities and colleges to hate America, to hate family, to hate work. You literally have people coming home complaining that they have to work 9 to 5. What the heck did you plan on doing the rest of your life? Getting money from mommy and daddy? You have to create something with your life. And so I would say that's another problem on why college. Now,
do you plan on doing a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life?
Most people don't want to.
No. So you have to make some form of income that will replace your 9 to 5. Whether you're doing entrepreneurship
or even a side job to kind of add on to that.
Yeah,
side job. If you're making a $60,000 job, you have a $20,000 side hustle.
Yeah, so either you can do a side job, entrepreneurship, creating your own business. Just you have to do something that will benefit you, and sometimes you're gonna have to take that risk to get to that next level.
And let me say it this way, Jeremy. Let's change the word from scam to problem. Is college a problem?
Whoa.
And right now, even if we see, I would say politically, college is a big problem. And again, I read the statistics of how a lot of colleges are messing up our kids' minds. They're not let me say it like this. They're not producing good American citizens. When I say a good American citizen, I want a citizen who believes in family, who believes in marriage, who has good morals, who has healthy habits, not drugs, not excess alcohol, all these different things. We want to create good members of society which are able to produce our next generation. Not a bunch of kids smoking, drinking, having sex. No bash to them, but if that's what you do, that's what you do. But that's not going to produce the next generation of good people.
Okay. Now, I'm going to have to disagree with you a little bit because not everybody go to college turn out to be on drugs and want to not have a family and whatnot. Some people do meet their spouse in college.
A lot of people. I was thinking that while you were talking, Joel.
And I'm sorry, I'm on your side, but that one I have to disagree.
No,
with.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all or even. I'm saying a lot. Millions of our students across this nation are receiving this mindset.
All right, so that depends on certain students because certain students do get to college. They see the partying, the drugs lifestyle, and they go after it. They see all the women they can get, or the women can see all the men they can get. And yes, some of them do live a crazy lifestyle over there, okay? And then they don't be focused, and then they mess up on their grades and whatnot. And then kids, get expelled, get kicked out, gotta go back home to mommy and daddy.
Which is the worst scenario. I want to be clear that even worse than not going to college is going and not getting a degree. That's by far the worst scenario. I do want to be clear that I'm not trying to preach.
I don't know if that's the worst
No, that's
scenario.
the worst. That's the worst.
Getting kicked out like that, I would say.
Yeah,
you at a university and you get kicked out the university.
Yeah.
Yes. But you can always bounce back.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just talking about the investment aspect because there was some type of debt or money invested into, okay, I'm going to get this degree. Let me put some of my credit, some of my names on some of these loans. You know what I mean? And not getting the degree is kind of like
waste of time.
It's almost a waste of time and money. You know what I mean?
Now, let me say this.
Credit.
Let me say this.
Unless you pay it
Let
back,
me say this, Germ.
Could help your credit.
As someone who has went to college, as someone who's graduated from college,
yes.
What are some of the problems you would say are in colleges?
Well, first, I would say that college do have some big problems. And the biggest problem, I think, is you're not completely wrong. It's indoctrination, but a different type of indoctrination.
What kind?
You're talking about people not being national, people not having a sense of nationalism or patriotic citizens. I think my biggest problem with the indoctrination is we don't want people to do 12 years of sitting in front of somebody on a schedule, then do another 4 years of doing the same thing and coming out, and we're going to think a bunch of Americans are ready to change things. This system of 12 years and another 4, it's only producing employees. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
That's why you have to understand. That's what they're trying to produce.
I know, but that's what I think I would say is the biggest problem. If you have a strong mindset and could do them to 12 years of the American public school indoctrination, and then the 4 years at a university or a college, and come out and be like, "Hey, I want to own a business. Hey, I want to do my own thing." I think that's the greatest way.
But we
sadly,
do have to understand that most people
are not. A lot of people are coming out like, "Hey, I want to work for." Okay, so you just became the same employee that someone who did not go to college could have became anyway. You know what I mean? You're an employee making more money.
But let's say though, I'll let you go, Rob. But like, just 1 second. Let me say it like this though: if we're not creating people who are employees, then we have no people to run our businesses.
Okay, that is a good thing. But what college and these schools are doing, they're institutionalized, and they are there to make you a worker. That's it.
That's true.
They make you worker. They're not trying to make you rich. So how do we get to the American dream? Because everybody's striving for that American dream, right? If we're going to be institutionalized as workers and be work slaves, mind slaves.
Well, first thing first, and like we talked about in that first episode, there is a solution to this, and the first solution is that we gotta change the 12-year the 12-year indoctrination program of the American public school system.
Jeremy, you're exactly correct on that, because I would say that 12 years of school is the stupidest thing in the entire world.
It is.
Many countries don't even practice that.
They don't.
Africa, South, they don't practice that. Now, let me say it like this. I believe, and this is my personal belief, especially for the inner city, the reason they need 12 years is because they'd rather see you, or let me say it like this, they'd rather pay for you to be in a school than pay for you to be in a jail cell. Because what happens is that when you are in a jail cell, they now have to pay $28,000 a year to take care of you in health, in food, in paying guards, in creating facilities, which the average facility I think is like $50 million. They don't want to have to pay that. So they say, go to school. Now, if you actually look at it, and there's videos, like pictures like this on Instagram, you'll find that it's very similar. They have school buses for kids. They have school buses for criminals. They have cafeterias for kids. They have cafeterias for criminals. You go to here 1 hour, you go to here next hour. You go home. It's a system because they want to occupy your mind enough time to basically not get in trouble. Because the reality is, America doesn't actually, I believe, have a solution for what to do with young people. So they're just kind of pushing them through and occupying their time.
That's good. Wow, I'm not even going to hold you. That was really good. All right, Micah, help me out, man. You're quiet on this. I'm hearing a statistic about once you get a degree, a bachelor's degree, if you don't graduate college, you're 3 times more likely to be in poverty than someone who graduates with a bachelor's.
Makes sense. The employee looks at your resume, you come in there with nothing, no degree, and they're like, no, I'll go to the next candidate. You know what I mean? But your opportunity to get a job and to get income is just limited if you don't have a degree in this world. It really is, unless you have a specialty in some type of knowledge, some type of I'm not trying to, gloat or anything, but I know how to write about fantasy sports and about sports in general. So I kind of have an avenue in case college will not work. But you have to have some type of specialty if you don't have a degree to, not be in that poverty statistic.
Now, I'm going to say this. We're in a great time right now where there are a lot of ways to make a lot of money without having a degree. And for instance, trade is a number one thing. When more people go on to trade, makes more money than the people that gets degrees.
And more money than the people who graduate high school without a trade.
Let me say it like this, and this is one problem that I see. Young people are obsessed with looks. They're not obsessed with product. So they'd rather take a $200,000 job on Wall Street than become a $200,000 plumber or become a $200,000 construction worker. And I want to go down a different road.
I heard plumbing is the lowest for the trades.
A lot of our women undermine men who have blue-collar jobs. He's not good enough for me. Even though you, shawty, you only make $30,000, you hype to say he's not good for you. I would counsel you, he's right up your league. But because we have this obsession with kind of looking good, things get missed in you get what I'm trying to say.
I get exactly what you're saying. Yeah. I know, me personally, a lot of people don't know this. I actually didn't go to college for a job. I was deep in the environmental activism, environmental science. Well, y'all two know, and you even know the activism side. And I went to college, and I really wanted respect. So it goes back to what you're saying. I want to get a degree in environmental science so that people can respect a young black man who's been doing the environmental science thing for all these years. But I felt like I wasn't getting the respect. So I actually didn't go to college for a job per se. No, that changed while I was in college a little bit. But I was like, man, I think if I had a bachelor's, I would get some type of respect that I wouldn't have. And now that I'm out of college, it's kind of true. It's not wrong, but there are respected people in the environmental field who have no degree and just do the good work. But usually when you tell them you got a degree, they do look at you a little bit different. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, have your degree helped you get to the American dream yet?
No, it has not.
How can you get to the American dream with your degree?
How can you get to the American
Now, let me
dream
say-
with a diploma?
What
me-
is the American dream?
Actually, let me say this. Let me say this. I'll make it really quick.
Help me out.
Number one, let me say it like this: that a lot of, on your point, Jeremy, about respecting that, a lot of the reason many young people go to college is because a lot of parents and community and pastors and other people shame them or look down at them. You don't have a college degree. You're not living up to your potential. How do you know what my gift is? So you don't know what my potential is.
Yes.
So my potential could be, I'm going to be the best roof salesman in the entire nation. But you're telling me I didn't reach my full potential because I didn't do what you wanted me to do. Stop putting your dreams on me, because the problem with our parents, they want us to fulfill what they didn't fulfill. It's not my job to fulfill what you didn't fulfill. It's my job to fulfill what I need to fulfill.
Yep.
Now, go back to your point is, what is the American dream?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was saying his point, right? You were asking that, right? So what is it? Or
Wait. Before we get into that, let's take a quick break.
yes. All right, we're back.
Oh, sorry. We're back.
I had to think about it. I had to think.
We're back. We're back. Sorry, technical difficulties. Now, Micah, you're going back to the American dream. The American dream. Look, the American dream is to make a lot of money, live a comfortable life, make a lot of money, travel the world, not working a 9 to 5, have a wife, a spouse, some children,
Maybe a dog or two.
maybe a
Some
dog or
people
two
want
if
multiple
you're into the
cars.
animals and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
A wife or two. If you were in Utah, or a wife and a mistress.
my man trying to do the polyamory. Okay.
Joe looking at me like, watch yourself. What?
Yo, stop. But
That sounds like Jeremy's dream, not the American dream.
Shout out to the Mormons. But anyway.
No, but yeah, that is the American dream. Travel,
Yeah.
have money, do whatever you want with it. Like, and live comfortably and don't have to worry about struggling. Don't have to worry about if the bill is going to be paid.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about making ends meet. Don't have to worry about if you're going to eat at night.
I would say this, just for the final thought for the American dream. I would say there's no such thing as the American dream unless you have the American mindset. And I would say that most people have abandoned the American mindset. That's why they don't have the American dream.
What's the American mindset,
I would say the American mindset is to create. I would say the American mindset is independence. I would say the American mindset is family. This country was started on family. We can say it was started on war. It was started on
But is
rebellion.
that American mindset?
Oh, it is.
Because I don't think a lot of Americans have that mindset.
And that's why they're not living the American dream.
I think capitalism got to be entangled in this thing, too.
Capitalism is how this country was born.
Yeah.
Of course.
I believe capitalism is the greatest idea ever created for a financial system. And let me tell you why. Who has gotten more people out of poverty besides capitalism? Everybody loves it. The Middle Easterners love it. The Russians love it, even though they say they're communists. They probably eat capitalist pies in their bedroom when they're at night. They love capitalism. Why? Because it works. You can argue with everything in the world. You can never argue with results.
Due to the lack of time, I can't even respond to that. But that's good. I got indoctrinated in college, so I'm anti-capitalist.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a joke. I don't know. I think that part of it is that Americans are not succeeding at this quote unquote American dream.
It's not working.
It's not working. I think it's our economy. I think it's the treasury. I think it's inflation. I think there's big problems with
And government.
how government is allowing small businesses to not flourish. And this is the problem with the American dream. There's Americans, there's a dream, but for some reason there's a problem getting there. So I'm confused, And
Because a lot of people ain't chasing the dream, like Meek Mills said. Dream chasers.
Yeah, but that's the thing. People running after the money, The money, you don't really have to chase money. Money is really right there. You know what I mean? You manipulate the systems to get money.
You bring value. You bring value.
Yeah,
money is attracted to value. People don't have value, so they don't get money.
Yeah. Now, my brother over here is a fantasy sports writer, right? Now, that's a job. That's your income, but there's other people you say who can't do it. You know what I mean? So you analyze what the people want. People want some writings on fantasy sports, and you're able to write about it. So there's a product, there's a demand. You know what I mean? Me going to college and getting like a feminist degree or a woman's gender studies or like a degree like communications. Is there enough demand for that person with that degree? And the answer is no, not really.
Let me say this.
So you went back to what I said about the dance degree. Certain degrees is not going to get you there.
Let me say
but if you go for a degree in lawyer, I would say that being a lawyer, a doctor in the nurse field, those will help you get some money. Those type of fields.
I have to say, it depends on who you are. If you are a good dancer and you want to get a dance degree, you will be successful. If you're a bad dancer trying to get better through college, you're probably not going to make it.
Even being a good dancer.
If I'm a bad dancer, I'm going to want a degree.
But you have a lower chance.
If I'm a bad dancer, I'm going to want a degree.
Let me say this final. Go ahead, Rob.
Okay. But even being a great dancer, there are a lot of great dancers. They got great dance degree. They're not making significant, crazy amount of money.
Let me say it this way. Yeah. I think this is the best way to say it. Your gift will make room for you.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Not the economy, not the statistics. If you have a gift, it will make room for you. Find out your gift, take pride in it, invest in it, invest in yourself, read books, whatever you have to do to invest in your gift, and that gift will make room for you in life.
And where your heart is, that's where your treasure will be also.
Quoting Bible, okay.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Matthew chapter 5.
So if your heart's in nothing, you won't have any treasure.
Wow. Yeah, this is good. And I think everyone who gets out of high school really need to consider what investments I want to make with my gift. Either it's I'm going to pay for a trade, either it's I'm going to pay on getting the business started. They say on average it costs what, $2,500 or $25,000 to start a small business.
It depends on the business.
It does, but I heard a statistic.
A lot of big businesses, like if you want to do anything crazy, it's going to cost you some money.
It's going to cost you some bread. Am I going to put my money in 4 years of college, or am I going to put my money in a little startup? You know what I mean? Like, we need to really start thinking, what's my gift? What am I on the planet to do? And how am I going to invest in that?
And Jeremy brought a good point of investing yourself. Number one way to invest in yourself, get a mentor. People who try to walk alone, it's foolishness.
Yeah. So you have a mentor?
I do. Augustine said something. Augustine, he's on Instagram, said something very powerful. I don't make decisions. I follow directions. You might know where you want to go, but you don't know how to go there. Find someone who's already been where you're at and follow what they tell you to do.
All right, now.
That's true. And don't let people knock your vision. If you don't want to be a doctor or a nurse, I knew one guy growing up, he wanted to be a father and a husband. That was his goal in life. He says, I want to be a father and a husband. You know what I mean? It don't matter what job, what church, what neighborhood I'm at. I want to be that. Now, some people may wake up, hey, I want to be an activist. I want to be a farmer. I want to be a singer. I got to be, you got to start investing in your own dream. If you want to be a father and a husband, maybe college ain't the route. Maybe you need to start dating. Maybe you need to start looking at how to raise some kids. Start working at a gosh dang, where you be at?
Working at a daycare.
Working at a daycare or something.
If you're a young black woman, learn how to get along with men.
We're the Controversial Podcast, episode 64. Awesome time. We got Joel Henry in the building. We got Micah Henry in the building. Like I said, I grew up with these guys. I'm so glad to have y'all on. Julian, you can close it out.
I don't know if I can close it out after that. Because he hit on so much truth with that one, though. I'm sorry. And that black woman is going to come after us because of you. All right. This is we're the Controversy Podcast. YouTube brothers, do you got anything y'all want to promote real quick?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, Fantasy Central 1. That's the number 1, Fantasy Central 1. I post a lot of sports content, so yeah, give me a follow.
I got nothing.
Okay, well, this is a good episode. Follow us on Instagram, WC_podcast. Follow us on Twitter, WC_pod. YouTube, WC_pod. Facebook, World Controversy Podcast. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere, Spotify, anywhere you can find podcasts. World Controversy Podcast. And that's it, folks. Bye.